After one of the most shocking trades in sports, it's Christmas Day. 8 days removed from being dealt. Welcome to NBA Monday.
Usage rate on the ball, there's no doubt. Ultimate
Would have been the starting center. Instead, Jackson Hayes. He'll turn 26 years old on February 20th. He'll start on defense and extend on marketing who missed the three. Luka on the wing. Here's LeBron James. Lob for Hayes. To score 40 points. He had 42 in a win over Golden State.
And you see right away LeBron downhill with the late find, and that's what's going to be fascinating to watch him paired with Luka, who specializes in the pass that LeBron just made.
James out of there with it after an empty possession for the Jazz. And here's Doncic driving, puts it up, instead it's a lob. We know how Luka loves to lob it to his friends.
Downhill, if you've got shooting on the floor, the lob threat for these centers is going to go to
Doncic. When you take his career scoring average and his career assist average and you put them together, that number is higher than any player in NBA history. Doncic off the screen, gives it up again on the lob, this time broken up by Collins. Here's Collier, the rookie out of USC, finds Clarkson, three not there. Down court, knocked away from Doncic, out of bounds.
Awareness by
8 assists per game this season. He played only 22 games with Dallas. Hachimura missed the dunk, but counted. Goal. Just his 23rd game played this season. Markkanen catch and shoot. Hits it. Reeves with the big Kessler on him, drives to the basket, kicks it out. Doncic hesitates, fires, and it's short on his first field goal try as a Laker. Collier with a little airspace. His three no good. Pulls up. Misfire on the trip.
You would expect that to be a little bit of a rust period for him, but the playmaking will be immediate, and the number of players he occupies on that end of the floor, that'll we'll see tonight and every night going forward.
Collins drove the Suns to overtime before falling. Luka behind the back to Hachimura. And a foul called. That will send Hachimura to the line for the first free throws of the game for either team. Cited character, culture, used the word vacant to describe the reasons why they made the deal to get Anthony Davis.
An enormous risk on the part of the Mavericks organization, and I said this on Saturday, it's going to come down to the fact that Dallas is betting against as the leader of your franchise. They're betting against that. Lakers bet on it.
Collins, beautiful move to the back. Got hurt last night. Drills in the game. And the first three for LA.
A lot more out on the floor than just LeBron and Luka as well. Roy Hachimura playing the best offensive stretch of his career right now. Austin Reeves, you saw what he did on Saturday, the 45 points when he basically had the show to himself. So there's weapons around them that could.
Hasn't taken a shot yet. Doncic has attempted one. On the switch, Luka's got the big on him. Tries the three. And hits it. The first of many to come for Luka Doncic as a Laker. Here's a former Laker, Jordan Clarkson, started his career in Los Angeles. Finds Markkanen in the corner. Three not there. Kessler rebounds, slapped away out of bounds. And the other time that LeBron James and Luka Doncic have played together, all-star teams. In fact, back when players were captains, LeBron, 3 consecutive years, picked Luka Doncic for his team at the All-Star game. But that's it.
Yeah, and up until about 5 days ago, Luka Doncic would have thought that's the only time he was going to be a teammate of LeBron James. Was in an all-star game, but instead, here
at his request,
didn't force his way out. This was a situation where, over a period of time, the Dallas Mavericks are going to be able to fully maximize his potential as your franchise leader and lead you to tight people, particularly in Dallas, what he actually is going to be capable of.
8-0 run by the Lakers. They have a 6-point lead. Lakers currently tied for 3rd in the West in the loss column as Clarkson misses, but he got.
You mentioned, Legs, an unprecedented event where the Dallas Mavericks have traded a 25-year-old to the Los Angeles Lakers. That's a doozy even for this franchise.
Still can't believe Actually watching this happen because of the talent level of Luka Doncic.
And to George's point, as Lucas passes off the mark, you think of the names. The Lakers, when they get star players, it's not just because of their talent. It's also what Kobe Bryant did, and LeBron James has done many stops along the way. Here's James on the fadeaway. 2 of 4 from 3, and they got 18 points in the first 6 minutes with Doncic on the floor. Clarkson has it knocked away by Finney-Smith. Another important acquisition by the Lakers made in December, and a chance. James driving on Kessler, the shot blocker. And James
see with this lineup, the cross matches and who you pick up in transition more significant than it's been with defensively. And that time you saw Walker Kessler have to try to guard LeBron James at the top of the key. J.J. Redick said the switch factor is what he's going to be fascinated to explore with these two players.
On that last basket by James, Luka Doncic had a huge grin on his face, as if to say, I've seen that so many times, that fadeaway as an opponent. Glad I'm seeing it now as a teammate. Hachimura's pass, almost thrown out of bounds. Finney-Smith, Doncic drives. Corner 3. Hachimura no good. Doncic there, cleaning it up inside.
A couple things on display there. First, a look away as he got into the air in the paint, looked up to the wing, knowing he was going to the corner, froze that weak side defender. Great work by Vanderbilt on the offensive glass.
This is the expectation. He's 100% healthy, just has not played since late December. Collins got bumped, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Long layoff, but I was thinking maybe in the range of 20, 22, 24 minutes. And JJ said, no, about 30. And I'm thinking that's a full night's workload for a lot of guys in this section. Nothing serious, and I think that's going to allow Luka to find
part in the All-Star game, and then they start the post-All-Star break.
And I think there's probably some of that was due to a lot of energy and adrenaline expended here at the start.
Collins with the swat. Great save by Markkanen. Deontay George leaves it for Collins for the hammer dunk. He's got 9 points. Utah back within 5.
Talented offensive player. Nice job right there, taking that thing to the rim, knowing the trailer was coming the entire time.
Vincent drills the last year with a knee injury. You have to think he's going to benefit from having James and Doncic on the step back from Reeves for deep.
Right now, saw what he was capable of on Saturday with an increased offensive responsibility.
Vincent hangs on. 3.5 minutes to go. The Lakers are 8 of 9 from the floor from inside the arc, and 3 of 6 from behind the arc. Markkanen inside. And a pair of second-round picks were involved in the Luka AD deal.
He's been great, really, for the last 6 weeks. Slow start to the season, shooting the ball.
Go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. He and Luka Doncic both played 7 minutes. Then James sat for a couple. Be interesting to see how J.J. Redick staggers his 2 stars throughout games. Good defense.
J.J. Redick made sure to make a point. This is off his foot, but you now have the luxury of having 3 primary on-ball players that can make great decisions, including Austin Reeves, and it just means you can go 48 minutes. You never have to worry about not having one of those on the floor at all times.
James somehow found Vincent. His 3 is off target. The tip goes, though. Playing just his 2nd game as a Laker, recently signed a 2-way contract. Inside 2 to play in the first. The Lakers by 13. They've won 6 straight games here at home, 5 in a row overall, playing as well right now as anybody in pro basketball. And that was before the addition of Luka Doncic. James drives. Vanderbilt trying to save it. Not sure if that pass was.
I believe it was, and I believe Jackson Hayes, is expecting typically.
Lakers shooting 72% from the floor. Utah at 42%. A foul in
the month of February.
And think about who he's second to for the 2nd straight year, by the way, and probably anybody other than Victor Wembanyama is going to be second for a long time, because Wemby, he averages over 4.
His defensive energy, tenacity, awareness, and communication here early is what I'm watching. The vocal leadership on this end is leading to good things on the other end.
Shot clock down to 5. Sensabaugh had trouble with it. Now the timer at 2. Good half-court defense again by the Lakers.
A guy that big, laterally that quick, strong, and I think the Lakers also are going to hope that some of that can also be something visually that Luka Doncic is aware of. There are things about his game clearly that are there that he has to try to address and always be talent. But a guy like LeBron James and his type of leadership on this end to do this, past the age of 40, energy defensively could be something that's a good.
Hayes in the high post. Nice pass by James. The 3 not there, though, for Vincent. Loose ball tracked down by Goodwin, who saves it before he crashes into the front. 9-second difference in the clocks. Here's Vanderbilt. His 3 not close. 8th game of the season for the Lakers. Been dealing with injuries. Collier tried to lob it, and it was rejected by Hayes. James in the open floor. Drives all the way. Can't finish, though. And then a loose ball foul on Vanderbilt, so Utah's going to get free throws with 9/10 of a second left.
Really nice job by Jackson Hayes that time breaking up. Convert this. He had to jump in the air.
Eka Potter is at the foul line. 30-year pro out of Wisconsin. A pretty good debut, though, for James and Doncic together. The Lakers 37 points in the quarter, 64% shoot. First quarter comes to a close.
Being here tonight, and we just got to do a good job of managing the game, not letting them get a lot of fast breaks and take control.
With Doncic and James on the floor.
Man, just try to make everybody else score and have them be as effective as we can. Those guys are great playmakers, so it's on us to just talk and stay together.
John, good luck. Thank you.
Thanks.
Guys, back to you.
And George, everybody else did score. Third foul, actually, on Hachimura, so... See how
adjustment here. I believe Luka was going to come in probably in about 2 or 3 minutes for Goodwin, most likely. But now the foul trouble with Hachimura might change.
Hachimura at the 5. Will be interesting to see how much of this we see. The Lakers made, as we mentioned at the top of the show, what they thought was another trade right before the deadline, and an important trade. Mark Williams, a center from the Charlotte Hornets, as Reeves. He's back tonight, and he got in late last night, so he's not going to play, but he's on the bench and expected to play minutes. George has more on that.
Dave Leggs, our own Shams Charania, our NBA insider, is reporting the Charlotte Hornets have been in contact with the NBA as they explore options to dispute the Los Angeles Lakers' failed physical assessment of Mark Williams, sources tell ESPN. The Williams-Dalton
sitting there was not going to play tonight. J.J. Redick said didn't think it was fair to him. Very late last night, so decided to let his head sort of gather itself as he watches this and figure out exactly what's going to happen with Connect going forward.
James looking to take Kessler off the bounce, falling away, connects again in the NBA. We've seen that twice in this game. James with 11 points already. Kick ball, going to stay with Utah. Here supporting Luka Doncic, his former teammate. Dirks. Collins hits the front. And James out of there with it, racing up the floor, but needs some help. Had to wait for his teammates to get set. Lakers by 14. 2 minutes gone by. Reeves driving, bumped, and will shoot 2 with Collins picking up the foul.
And one of the benefits of this will be for Austin Reeves in that he draws fouls. And so that's going to be something as the Lakers' only other ball handler prior to Luka's arrival. In a half game, so he's getting there almost 10 times a night in this stretch and converting every time.
That's the part of his game that probably not enough people talk about. It's just how good he is at finding driving lanes, getting to the basket, and then ultimately getting to the free throw line. James, long 3. Pinballs out to Hachimura. And the 15-foot putback off the heel. Collins threw it right to Goodwin as he was falling down. And it led to an easy basket.
Yeah, it's just a tough break for Collins. Lost his balance as he was going to the ground after they clearly had secured the rebound. Ends up with 2 easy ones for the Lakers.
And Goodwin lost his mask. Wearing a mask to protect a facial injury. Had to take it off there, so playing without it. James no look down court. Hachimura lost it. And now Collier ahead of the pack. Goes in for the easy lay. 11 points for Utah off of Laker turnovers. Collier was Bronny James's teammate at USC last year. Bronny
Bunch of young guys that they're trying to develop, and Will Hardy was just raving about Isaiah Collier and the way he has played over the last month.
Yeah, really grown in terms of his decision-making. Made a good pass there. Johnny Juzang, who played collegiately here after growing up in L.A., played for UCLA. He missed the three. Finney Smith's three, no good. But a second chance opportunity. And Reeves got shoved as he was trying to fight. And Luka talking with Justin Van Dyne. Thought foul should have been called earlier. So they're going to stagger James and Doncic minutes here. LeBron was out there for about 6 minutes without Doncic, and now Luka will play without LeBron.
Well, you think about minutes together, and the end of the game on most nights, depending on the score, will be the last 6-7 minutes. That's right there, and now Redick has the luxury of staggering these guys and making sure you always have.
He's seen Luka grow the most. He said everywhere, but when he's willing, he's been a much better defender than he was early on in his career. Play ball from Hachimura.
I think Luka Doncic is the best in this league at the late find. After he's exhausted under the basket is really unique, and you saw Hachimura benefit from that right there.
2 assists for Doncic to go with 5 points in his first ever game as a Laker. Now we got a Jackson Hayes.
Weak side of the floor at any angle to let weak side shooters spot up and still do damage late in the clock.
Didn't make All-NBA his rookie year, but since 5 consecutive first-team All-NBA selections for Luka Doncic. Won't be eligible for the awards even if he plays every game the rest of the way. Missed too many games, won't hit that 65-game mark. Doncic on the step back and drill the three. And cleared by Collins. Pass from Collier went through the legs of Collins. Here's Hachimura in transition, and he's hacked by Markkanen.
Bright young minds in the game, and you know he's in a tough position right now, as any coach would be with a franchise in the NBA that's clearly in rebuild. The side of this rebuild, which they're playing the long game right now for sure. A lot of picks over the next 7 years, 11 first-round picks in the next 7 years. This is the option they're going to take, and Will Hardy could be the guy to lead it.
So Doncic does the Dirk with Dirk in attendance after LeBron just did it a couple of minutes ago. That 1-foot fadeaway. Doncic now with 7 points. Juzang's 3, no good. Lead is 21 for LA. Now on the switch, Doncic fires to Finney Smith. They were teammates for a few years in Dallas. Hachimura driving and finishing off.
On the left side of the court, 3 players shift to that side, gets it to the other side quickly, and then there's opportunities for Hachimura to find a driving lane.
I mean, obviously we know Luka Doncic is a brilliant scorer, but his IQ, teamed with the incredible bash seen over 22 years of LeBron James. Here's Doncic for 3. It's so rare to have a tandem like that together. Has LeBron played with any teammates he's played with that's similar to Luka?
He's had great teammates, Hall of Famers. But because of the style of game and the ball usage for Luka Doncic.
Hachimura trying to put it on the deck and get past Clarkson. And a foul called on the Jazz. 4th team foul.
And one of the great luxuries will be late game, how fresh LeBron and Luka both could be because of some of that response at any time. And now they can play off each other. You see Luka again with a nice burst on the receive.
Doncic, and you look at the timing of this move. The Lakers are right in the thick of things in the West. They're tied for 25 games, best record during that stretch. A lot of people curious if they can compete this year. Doncic with the jab step, now fires. Can't drill the 3. He's 1 for
point line as it is after this long layoff. I think that'll be the last thing to come for Luka, the consistency from out there.
Hachimura, but not a smart foul. That is 4 on him last year in the conference semis, as Luka led, along with Kyrie Irving, Dallas to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2011 when they won the championship and beat LeBron James and the Miami Heat. So Doncic and James on the floor together here, likely to close out the first half. Doncic puts it on the floor, leans in, gives it up to Vincent. Shot clock at 3. James returns it. Vincent will pop. With a triple for the Lakers.
What a find by LeBron. Goes down the left side of the lane, knowing Vincent was all the way over on the right wing.
Clarkson inside, no. Hayes rebounds. Quick outlet, James. Looking to push. Finney Smith fouled by Markkanen. That will put 1 late in the first half. Luka with 9. James with 11.
Listed in Dwayne Wade, in fact, a Finals MVP and a champion's arrival in Miami. But there was never a doubt with all of those guys paired with LeBron who was in control. And Luka obviously has been that his entire career. That's why this pairing pick you apart from all over the floor.
George has more.
Dave, Legs, I covered those Heatles teams every night, road and home. Legs, I will say this. We do remember there was that tough start. Remember, they were 9-8 to start that season, and guys were taking turns. Now, after that, they won 21-22, but it really wasn't until that offseason after the kind of now at this stage, 15 years later.
And what's so unique about this at his age, but how much longer can LeBron possibly go in stages of his career now playing with a new superstar?
So significant that they overlap here. You're talking about the greatest player of the last 2 decades, now paired with a guy that potentially is going to be one of the greatest players of the next decade for the Lakers. So it is really unprecedented, as I said at the start. Guys of Luka Doncic's ability.
But such a buzz, even on Saturday when there was talk that maybe Doncic would play but sat out. The entire city has been anticipating this very night. And it was packed about an hour before the game. Everybody watching Luka warm up. James has it knocked away by Collins. Markkanen in transition, lobs it up there for Kessler.
Open floor for Utah, connecting on that lob.
Finney Smith driving, gets it back, and scores off the window. They were this good as James trying to get...
Lakers go to a little zone look right there. Defenders spread enough. Too much space in the corner, give up the open 3.
Doncic leans in, foul. It won't fall, but Luka will go to the line for his first free throws as a Laker. Clarkson picks up his second foul. Jordan has scored more points per game in NBA playoff history. Doncic, historically in 50 career playoff games, has been even better in the postseason. Games with League Pass now 30% off through February 16th.
I think to George's point earlier, too, which was really good, the beginning here. Now, tonight doesn't look like we're headed there. We'll see what Utah can muster in the second half. But I thought Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, when they first got paired, a presence like LeBron.
Markkanen's 3, not there. Doncic fires down the court to James in stride. It rolls around. 13 points for James, 3 assists for Doncic.
That's a 2-hand chest pass, plus feet in the air, on a rope, and put it in the only place LeBron could get that.
69 first half points for the Lakers. Clarkson won't fall from deep, batted around. And out of bounds off the jab. Doncic on the switch has Walker Kessler on him. Luka penetrates, puts it up, missed the shot. Tracking it down is Reeves. 4 seconds to go in the half. Reeves for three. Lakers shoot 60% from the floor on a night that...
Seen that today, so no one trying to be deferential out here, Dave. Everyone's trying to get their own game going.
And there were so many people as Doncic throws another lob on the floor together. Did it meet your expectation, Legs, of what you thought?
No, I think it did, but you're talking about, barely scratching the surface of what this ultimately could be. A raw scorer to just completely take over games. It was difficult in Dallas at times because he also had to set the table for everybody else. Here, he has another guy that can do that when he goes into scoring mode.
Half on Christmas Day as a member of the Dallas Mavericks, and he had missed the first 3 games that since the trade from the Mavs to the Lakers due to that cap in minutes restriction, so to speak. Going to play about 30 minutes tonight. Another dunk from Hayes by LeBron, but Luka started that one with the hockey assist.
These are just going to be significantly easier. Just run the floor, and now you have two different options handling the ball to hit you from either side. That's how they both touched it on that break.
Collier's three no good. Batted out to James. LeBron looking to run. Going downhill, attacking Markkanen. Nice recovery. An all-star and the most improved player in the NBA 2 years ago. Donovan and Rob Pelinka, who had behind the scenes been talking, shocked the sports world. One of the most surprising and consequential trades, not just in NBA history, but Americans. Jazz, there were reports that even though the Jazz were part of the trade, that they actually didn't know the pieces that were involved in terms of the big names as Doncic scores and one. And here we are. It's finally reality. Lucas first
play through contact, but he doesn't really release the ball around the rim until he is absolutely ready.
Adductor injury, expected to miss several weeks. Tonight, Daniel Gafford injured and did not return to the game after suffering a leg injury. Derek Lively is out as well, so the Mavs dealing with all kinds of injuries. We'll see the Mavs on Wednesday night. They'll take on Golden State. They're in the play-in right now. The Lakers are currently tied for third in the West. They've been in the play in the last 2 years, but they're 4 games removed from that right now. Collier, nice speed and the slam from Kessler.
To make plays off the dribble. You see the find at the rim. His natural instincts for facilitating are something that Will Hardy was really pleased with.
Doncic couldn't make that as he was falling towards the baseline. Trying to finish through contact. Pull-up three from Laker, who is a member of the first-team all-rookie squad when he was here in LA back for 6th man of the year with Utah back in 2021. Lakers play one more game before the break. Out of the All-Star break, the Lakers will take on the Hornets. They're at 31-19 right now. James for three.
Effortless getting up into that shot for LeBron. You knew that was good as soon as you let it go. It just had perfect rotation and arc on that shot.
He's 13 for his last 23 from behind the arc. Did it late in his rookie season back in March of 2004. Plenty of 40-point games in between as well, we should add, for James. That pass broken up. And the 4th turnover by LeBron, and then he commits a foul.
The way he looks, there's no telling him how much longer LeBron's going to play.
From the All-Star break, LeBron James this weekend in San Francisco will play in an NBA record 21st All-Star game. Offensive foul on Utah. Collier. Doncic finds James. Hachimura corner three. It's good. 5:56 LA. Lakers trying to win their 6th straight, 10 out of 11. Air ball from Clarkson. Doncic quickly ahead, but the deflection, it still gets to LeBron. Downhill, scoop and score with the...
Markkanen got him once on a semi-breakaway. That time LeBron crafty with the left hand.
18 for James. He averages about 25 per game. Doncic trying to hang with Markkanen. LeBron comes over for the double, gets the deflection, forces a turnover. James again. And a foul on Collier, his 3rd. 2 when we come back. It'll be his first free throws of the night. James with it.
For the immediate recovery for the LA Wildfires, and he's committed to help that were destroyed during those wildfires to help kids get back on those fields and those courts. He signed it by saying to everyone affected by these fires. Dave?
Yeah, I love that. New neighbor. And no surprise, Luka was very involved in the Dallas community. A big reason why there's so much backlash there, not just because he's a great player, but also his involvement in the DFW area. James 3 is off the mark.
With Luka, it was obviously the production on the court. It was also the entertainment value, right? The entertainment factor. Every night that you watched him, and then in addition, everything he was doing in the community. No wonder why people in Dallas are hurting.
Now you don't have Anthony Davis. You've got other injuries. How concerned are you? Because all the talk there is they felt they could make a run at an NBA title this year, and that's why they made the deal. As Markkanen gets the dunk in transition.
Yeah, listen, that's going to be difficult. They're going to, depending on how long this lasts, how big a hole they find themselves in Western Conference, to come from those slots where Dallas is probably going to find themselves. Very difficult uphill battle in the postseason.
His third triple. He's got 14 points.
There's still an awful lot of talent in Dallas. You got Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, you added Klay Thompson, you've got role players, you got some guys that went to the finals a year ago on that roster. But, you know, what Luka Doncic represents is just so unique and so special.
Doncic for three. No good. Luka one just named an all-star replacement for Anthony Davis, by the way.
The more I think about it with the Lakers, what's going to be fascinating at times is just to watch the dynamic where Luka gets into these scoring runs, and he doesn't have to worry as much about setting the table for other people at that point. That's going to be fascinating. He never had that luxury in Dallas.
Good job on the glass. That third year out of Auburn, career high, nothing Utah run.
And you see the Lakers running a lot of two-man action with two ball handlers setting screens for each other to get switches where they can just attack.
Hachimura as the Lakers go small, hitting another three.
And I think you'll see a lot of that out of the Lakers, particularly since they didn't get an additional center at the deadline. You're going to see Jackson Hayes starting, but you're going to see this to the floor.
But as George mentioned earlier, talking about that Shams report, maybe more to come with the Mark Williams trade that was rescinded. Williams back in Lakers.
A lot more information to come on that, because it's clearly Charlotte was surprised by Mark Williams coming out here and failing that physical. The Lakers probably surprised as well. So there's more to come from Dalton Knecht. We got to see what exactly his situation will be going forward. Was playing well for a rookie, clearly became one of the crowd favorites here, and now he finds himself in a pretty awkward situation.
Doncic, his 24th minute, supposed to play about 30, couldn't bank that. His first game in 6 weeks. Not played since Christmas due to a calf injury. That's why he did not make his Laker debut until tonight. Was listed as questionable originally on the injury report. Upgraded to probable this morning. Foul here on Jackson Hayes. 3 on him, 4 on the Lakers.
Like the smaller lineups defensively, that benefits Luka Doncic, because there are going to be matchups you can find for him, particularly at the 3 or the 4 spot, where maybe he weakness against him. That is a benefit for the Lakers to play small. You've got guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, you've got Rui Hachimura.
Job to continue to challenge himself in that thing that he loves so much. Luka's 3 not there. He's 1 for 7 from behind the arc. 14 points still. Clarkson not shy. Gets the offensive rebound, but then goes out of bounds to LA.
Their creativity is really going to come out the longer they're together.
Finney-Smith for 3. Short. Rebound Sensabaugh. I wonder at this stage, with it being a 24-point game, do we even see James and Doncic again? Markkanen misses. Luka back in the swing of playing. 5-on-5 debut tonight in 24 minutes, 14 points.
You know, the expectations for the Lakers, I think, coming in the Western Conference, I don't think people were considering them. You add Luka to the mix, they look at the West now, and I think
successful challenge. That's why you saw the Lakers shooting free throws a moment ago. Take a look down the struggles of Dallas with a lot more in that as well. Nearing 2 minutes to go here in the third. 24-point lead for the Lakers. Here's James, spot up 3, no good. James 19 points.
2 minutes. Saw Jared Vanderbilt working on the glass right there. You know, with 18 minutes a night, his rebounds per minute numbers are insane.
And he's an under most of last year, hurt for almost entirely this season, playing just his 8th game.
Gives him defensive capability up the floor with size, which is not something they really have if Jared Vanderbilt's not available to him.
When you think of the lineup, as James, that even if the Lakers have a smaller lineup, they got guys with tremendous wingspans, including Vanderbilt. Collins tried to finish there and couldn't. He's still down. Gets help back from an official. Hey, alley-oop, and dunks it.
Yeah, it was a spectacular effort by John Collins. Need to get his hands on that for off to the races, and they're a very selective team about running.
Hayes 6 of 6 from the floor. Almost all of those made shots on alley-oop dunks. Collins turns it over. Here's James, who has 8 assists now after that last helper. That lob thrown out of bounds. So J.J. Redick thought that was deflected, so he's going to challenge.
home with me, I might as well use it.
That's the 7th turnover by James. He also has 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and 20.
You know, they're going to get a very small sample here with Luka before the All-Star break, and he's got to sprint to the finish with fresh legs. It's one of the benefits of having an injury actually for an extended period of time. You do.
2-second difference of the game in shot clocks. The man defending LeBron James played with James's son at USC last year, Isaiah Collier. Vincent with 4 to shoot. Tries the 3 as the buzzer was about to sound. Ends the 3rd quarter. The Lakers take a 20. Went up 500% as the day went on from when probable. There's James downhill, missed the shot, got it back, and scores. He's got. We don't know if we'll see Luka again with his 27-point lead. 24 minutes played for Doncic in his Laker debut. Kessler collides with James, and they're going to call a blocking.
Had stayed closer, I think the plan probably would have been for Luka to be at about 20 to 22 minutes heading into the 4th quarter in case you needed to.
13 to make it happen. Sent a game against Phoenix to overtime all in the last week, but getting hammered here tonight.
Yeah, 2 franchises in totally different stages. Lakers very much in a win now. The future as well, whereas Utah, it's all about player development at this point. And
playing only about a minute here in the 4th. Let's check in with George.
Dave.
Hi, George.
Dave, legs. Sorry, my mic wasn't on. I was watching LeBron as he walked off the floor. He went right up to his trainer, Mike Mancias, and was grabbing kind of his midsection a little bit after that collision with Walker Kessler, and went back to the locker room.
The problem here. Lakers play one more game before the All-Star break. Wednesday in Salt Lake, and then James will be in the All-Star game for a record 21st time. He's on Team Shaq, and he'll be teammates with Anthony Davis. Turnaround jumper, Hachimura, no good. And Collier rebound. Pull up 3 by Keontae George, not close. Ball batted around. Juzang has it. George will try again, same spot, same result. Kessler offensive rebound, and he's fouled. He's got 11
rebounds a game in February in addition to almost 13 points.
Rebuilding phase, but they also have a centerpiece as to whether a lot of these guys currently in the roster are going to be here.
No doubt. They've got 3 guys, you know, that have another year in their contract that will free up potentially $70 million of cap space. I meant 20 points a game the last 2 seasons. He's at 19 this year. But now they're very much in flux about what they want to do, who they want to keep. A lot of nights these are guys really auditioning for a place in the franchise going forward.
Williams, who was the highest, number 10 overall, he's struggled when he's been on the floor, but he's also battled injury.
He scored over 20 4 out of his last 5 games. He's at 19 again tonight, and he just has become incredibly lethal from that 18-foot area.
Corner 3, Vincent, good. 3. Around 35% this year. Steal by Reeves. Fakes the lob and takes it himself for the layup.
Tough decision for a defender. You see Austin Reeves.
Fashion leg.
All right, it's got Lakers by 30. They've led by as many as 34 in this game. It appears Luka is complete. Just under 20.
Shooting was really what wasn't there to make 1 for 7 from 3. Or he has a much bigger offensive night. Tremendous head fake. Get the defender in the air and play through it for him.
21 points for Austin Reeves after a 45-point game Saturday. Stretching out after that collision with Kessler. He's taken his game to another level this year. Career high in scoring. Also a 6 assists per game guy this year. Markkanen can't put it home. Rebounds tonight, as well as 22 points. Here's Finney-Smith, short on the 3. Juzang.
The floor, catch and shoot, quick release.
Lex, based on what you saw tonight, again, I get it's just a snapshot. Was there anything in the 23 minutes that Luka played, and about 16 minutes of those were with James, that
Expected it was just a small taste of it, but I saw opportunities in each half where they were able to run action on one side of the floor with those two guys. That is really where this can become very difficult to defend the more they find one of the rules when this went into effect.
AB. Offensive foul on Collins on the screen.
Their big issue at the start of the year. They don't take a lot of threes. They don't play particularly fast. Their defense on a run like they're currently on.
And it will be interesting, given that Anthony Davis is such a good defensive player, how that will change for the Lakers, how they make up for not having that with Davis.
A much different vibe and different feel offensively, and then some of the lineups you'll see defensively with really not a lot of depth at the center position.
Because you do wonder about LeBron James. The more he plays at that age, you get into the playoffs, what kind of toll that could take.
Not of having to handle the ball, his usage to creating for others, so he will benefit there.
And when Dallas and Nico Harrison made the trade, that's one of the reasons they did it. They felt that they were not good enough defensively, even though they made it to the finals last year with that group. And
then you look at what Luka Doncic has done in the postseason in his career, and the way he shows up in those big moments. Series he's gotten his team through, games he's won practically single-handedly. It feels like some nights he shows up when you get that later in your career. I think you're born with that. Luka hasn't, and that's what you really wonder, how you give up on something like that at 25.
Again, you look at the scoring average along with the assists. He accounts for 49 points per game. That is the most in NBA history on February 28th. 4.5 to go. Lakers 124, Utah 95. These teams will meet again Wednesday in Salt Lake. Juzang gets the bounce. Will stay in the 3 spot in the West, tied with Denver and 2 back of Memphis for the number 2 seed. Saturday 17 in this game to go with 7 rebounds in 17 minutes. He was a player that JJ
and JJ's demeanor and the way he talked about him, how impressed he has been, and certainly we have been getting to be here now for 2 games in a row and watch it.
He's bounced around. He's played in 121 NBA games.
In points actually created off of his assists, meaning 2s and 3s. He's 4th in the league. Last year, Luka in a full season was 3rd in the league that they have to beat you.
James with 8 assists in this game to go with 24 points and 29 minutes played. Filipowski in transition gives it up. Juzang challenged, but a foul on Jemison.
Some part saying to themselves, can you believe they're actually letting us play together? This is incredible to watch, and proven to be the best team in the Western Conference. That is the measuring stick right now, and their defense is the main reason for that. So let's see what happens when the Lakers now, with this new look, go up against elite defensive teams, elite teams later in the season. That's a more realistic threat to do damage in the Western Conference. And a lot of that has to do with the track record of Luka Doncic in the postseason.
He looks ago. Then they missed the playoffs 2 years ago. Last year, went to the NBA Finals, lost to the Celtics. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt and Filipowski both slow to get up. Vanderbilt hobbling a little bit down the court. Keep an eye on that.
Which is what he was last year when the finals took place, and he lost last year in the finals to inarguably the best team in the NBA in the Boston Celtics. So he's had postseason success. Wasn't ever as great in Dallas as it probably needed to be. Pressure situations. Yeah, the Lakers are going to be easily the most interesting team in the Western Conference over the remainder of the regular season.
Because you got Oklahoma City at the top with a healthy lead. Group of teams from 2 through 5, all separated by 2 games. Then you have a bunch of teams 6 to 11 separated by 2 games. So the final 30 games or so of the regular season in both conferences, but I think more eyeballs will be on the West just because of some of the big names like Steph Curry and obviously Luka and LeBron James.
Well, I'll put it this way. I don't, right now as I sit here, I wouldn't bet the way they're currently constructed than they were before the trade, because that's the impact that I think Luka ultimately will have.
What about if Dallas is Lively's out, Gafford got hurt tonight?
Again, they're not going to have as much time because of the Davis injury to really put a body of work together to judge them. But look, they're going to be a very good team. For all the players that went to the finals a year ago, you added Klay Thompson. So the Dallas Mavericks are still a very...
Filipowski comes it home. This will be their 6th straight win, matching their longest of the season. They've won 10 of 11. They're 19-7 over their...
More important numbers to watch now going forward with Luka and a different look and smaller lineups at times, and see if those defensive numbers hold.
Well, Jordan Goodwin for the 2nd time. Oh, he just hurt himself too. Second time he took off his mask, broke through it to the sideline. Then he had an awkward landing, but looks to be okay as he hops up. The pre-All-Star break schedule. LeBron James will play in his 21st All-Star game this weekend in the Bay Area. Luka Doncic will get a chance at some extra rest before the Lakers play Charlotte after the break. Shake Milton, another acquisition by the Lakers before the deadline in a trade with Brooklyn. New York night here in Los Angeles. Immediately, just because of the name and what Luka Doncic has done already, he immediately joins the pantheon of great Lakers, and it feels like the possibilities for this year and beyond are endless with